My beloved child, listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you was never meant to reach you like this. Years ago, before timelines crossed and before silence became normal, a letter was written with your name on it. Not a nickname. Not a guess. Your full name, written slowly, intentionally, as if the writer already knew the weight it would carry one day. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and every second you stay closer, the truth comes nearer. This letter was not written in a moment of impulse. It was written after nights of hesitation, after pages torn and rewritten, after choosing the right words and then doubting them again. The person who wrote it believed that some truths arrive too early and break us, and some arrive too late and haunt us forever. That's why the letter was hidden. That's why it was never delivered. But here's the part no one talks about. Your name was underlined twice, like the writer was afraid the world might forget who it was meant for. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. You've probably felt it before, that strange pull, that quiet feeling that someone out there knows you in a way words can't explain. That wasn't imagination. That was memory trying to wake up. The letter talks about the first time they saw you, long before you noticed them. It describes details about you that no stranger could ever know, moments you thought no one remembered. Stay till the end. Because when a letter survives years of silence, it's not just paper anymore, it's proof. The most surprising part is this: the letter was never meant to change your life back then. It was meant to protect you. The writer believed that if you read it too soon, you might choose differently, love differently, or walk a path you weren't ready for. So they waited. They kept it close, moving it from place to place, telling themselves, one day, when they are strong enough. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you right behind this moment. Inside that letter is a confession that rewrites timing itself. It doesn't ask for forgiveness, and it doesn't ask for anything at all. It simply says what was never said out loud. It explains why paths crossed but never aligned, why conversations almost happened but didn't, and why silence was chosen over honesty. Stay till the end, because this is not about loss. It's about intention. What makes this once in a lifetime is not the words, but the promise hidden between them. The letter ends with a line that was meant only for you to read when the time felt right. A line that connects who you were, who you are, and who you're becoming. The writer believed that if destiny ever allowed you to hear this story, you would finally understand why everything unfolded the way it did. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Even now, the letter exists. It hasn't faded. It hasn't been destroyed. It's been waiting, just like the feeling you couldn't name. And here's the truth that changes everything: the letter was written by the one person who knew they were your soulmate long before the word ever made sense to you. Stay till the end, because this story is not finished yet. In the next moment of this journey, you'll hear what the first sentence of that letter actually said, and why it was powerful enough to be kept secret for years. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and once you hear it, you'll never hear silence the same way again. The silence around this letter was never empty, it was carefully chosen. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the second page of that letter explains why it disappeared right after it was written. The writer knew that once ink dried, destiny would start moving faster than either of you were ready for. So they paused the world by hiding the truth, believing that time itself would soften the impact when the moment finally arrived. This part of the letter speaks about distance, not measured in miles but in courage. It describes how close they came to giving it to you, twice. Once when your paths almost collided, and once when a single message could have changed everything. But fear whispered louder than hope. Don't skip, because this wasn't cowardice, it was sacrifice, and the reason behind it changes how you see every missed moment. The letter then shifts tone, and this is where hearts usually slow down. It talks about watching you grow into someone stronger, wiser, and unknowingly closer to the truth. The writer believed that love doesn't always show up loudly, sometimes it protects from a distance. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in the realization that someone chose your future over their own comfort. Right here, pause for a second, but don't leave. If this story is pulling something inside you, share this video with someone who believes in timing and destiny. Subscribe if you're still here, because what's coming next is deeper. Don't skip. The next lines of the letter reveal why your name was written with such certainty, as if the universe itself approved it. The most shocking revelation on this page is that the letter predicted a moment in your life you're either living now or about to face. A crossroads. A choice. The writer knew you would reach it, and they wrote guidance without controlling you. Stay till the end, because this is not coincidence, it's alignment. There's a sentence here that feels almost impossible to accept. It says the delay was necessary so that when you finally heard the truth, you wouldn't doubt it. You would recognize it instantly, like a memory returning home. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you in that recognition. Before the page ends, there's a quiet apology. Not for loving you, but for loving you silently. The writer admits that if the letter had reached you earlier, it might have changed your story in ways neither of you could handle. Stay till the end, because understanding this turns regret into respect. And just when you think the letter has said everything, it leaves a clue, one final hint about where the next page begins and why it could only be revealed now. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part brings you closer to the line that was never meant to be read out loud. There is a reason the third page of the letter feels heavier than the rest. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because this is where the writer stopped protecting themselves and started telling the truth without armor. The handwriting changes here, slower, deeper, like every word carried the risk of being discovered one day. This page talks about moments you don't even remember, but they remember clearly. Small details. A glance. A pause in a conversation. A decision you made without knowing someone was watching it become proof. The letter says those moments confirmed everything for them. Stay till the end, because this is where destiny stops being abstract and becomes personal. Then comes a revelation that feels impossible to ignore. The writer admits they recognized your name before they truly knew you. Not because of fate stories or signs, but because something inside them reacted first. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you in the understanding that some connections are felt before they are explained. This page also explains the cost of silence. While you lived your life, they carried the weight of unsent words. The letter describes how holding back was harder than speaking, yet they chose it anyway, believing that love should never become a burden. Stay till the end, because this flips the meaning of absence in a way most people never consider. If you've stayed this far, you're part of the story now. Comment if this letter feels familiar, if it feels like it's speaking directly to you. Subscribe if you believe some messages arrive exactly when they're meant to. Don't skip. What follows is the most human confession in the entire letter. The writer admits they never stopped hoping, not for a reunion, but for your peace. They say that if your life turned out calm and whole without them, the silence would have been worth it. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in that kind of selfless truth. Near the bottom of the page, there's a line that feels almost like a goodbye, but it isn't. It's a pause. A promise that if the universe ever allowed the letter to be opened, it would mean you were ready to hear it. Don't skip. Because readiness is the key that unlocks what comes next. The third page ends with a sentence unfinished, trailing off as if the writer couldn't bring themselves to write the final word. And that missing word? It's revealed in the next part. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and everything changes once that word is spoken. The fourth page opens with a stillness that feels intentional, like the writer knew this was the point of no return. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because this is where the unfinished sentence finally completes itself, and once it does, the meaning of the entire letter shifts. The missing word wasn't dramatic, it wasn't loud, but it was powerful enough to change how every previous line is understood. This page reveals why the letter survived when everything else faded. The writer explains that they sealed it on the day they realized love doesn't always need presents to be real. They wrote that keeping the letter was their way of staying honest without interfering in your life. Don't skip, because this reframes waiting not as weakness, but as discipline. Halfway down the page, there's a detail that feels impossible to ignore. The writer mentions a moment from your life that only you remember. A choice you made when no one was watching. They wrote it years before it happened. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in that realization, because coincidence can't explain this. If this story is still holding you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this with someone who believes timing matters. Comment if you've ever felt a connection that made no logical sense. Subscribe if you're still here, because what comes next is the heart of the letter. Don't skip. This is where understanding replaces mystery. The tone of the letter changes again here, calmer, steadier. The writer says that if you're reading this now, it means you didn't lose yourself along the way. That the silence didn't harden you. That you stayed open. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in the fact that someone was rooting for your becoming, quietly, all along. Then comes a revelation that feels like a mirror. The writer admits they never wanted to be remembered as a secret or a regret. They wanted to be the reason you trusted your instincts, even when they made no sense. Don't skip. Because this turns the letter from a confession into a gift. Near the end of the page, there's a line written smaller than the rest, almost hidden. It says that the letter was never meant to pull you backward, it was meant to confirm that you were always moving in the right direction. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in that reassurance. The fourth page closes with a simple statement that prepares you for what's coming next. It says the final page will not ask you to choose, remember, or return, but it will tell you the truth you were always meant to hear. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the final part changes everything you thought this letter was about. The final page doesn't rush you, it waits, like it knows you've come this far for a reason. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because this is where the letter stops explaining and starts revealing. The handwriting is steadier now, as if the writer finally accepted that the truth deserves to stand on its own without fear. This page opens with a sentence that feels like recognition, not discovery. The writer says they always believed you would find this when you no longer needed answers to survive, but wanted them to understand. That difference matters. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in realizing that this letter wasn't written to complete you, but to meet you as you are now. Then comes the core truth, stated simply and without decoration. The writer admits they never expected anything in return, not a reply, not a memory, not even a thought. The letter existed because love, to them, meant honesty preserved, not demanded. Don't skip. Because this reframes everything you thought love had to look like. The most surprising revelation lands quietly. The writer explains that the reason the letter feels familiar is because parts of it shape choices you already made. Not by force, not by influence, but by alignment. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in understanding that some guidance works invisibly, like gravity. There's a moment on this page where the writer addresses you not as a soulmate, not as a destiny, but as a whole person. They say that whatever path you chose was the right one, because you chose it consciously. Don't skip. This is where the letter stops holding the past and starts honoring the present. Near the bottom, there's a sentence written once and never edited. It says that if this letter ever reached you, it meant the silence had done its job. You are ready. Ready to know without needing to act. Ready to feel without needing to change anything. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in that readiness. The letter then releases you. It makes no request, leaves no instruction, and offers no direction. It simply acknowledges the connection and lets it rest, complete in its own time. Don't skip. Because endings like this are rare, they don't close doors, they confirm journeys. The final line is the softest and strongest of all. It says that some letters are not meant to be delivered to start something, but to prove that something real once existed, and still does, quietly, without needing a name. Stay till the end. Something huge was waiting for you, and now, it's yours to carry forward, exactly as you are. The sixth part doesn't add noise, it adds clarity. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because this is where the meaning of the letter settles into your life, not as a twist, but as a truth you can finally carry without weight. The writer knew this moment would feel quiet, and they trusted quiet to be powerful. This section speaks about aftermath, not what happens next, but what changes inside you after knowing. The letter explains that understanding doesn't always arrive as relief, sometimes it arrives as calm. A calm that tells you nothing was wasted, not the waiting, not the silence, not even the confusion. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in realizing that clarity doesn't demand action. The writer reflects on distance one last time, not to measure it, but to dissolve it. They say distance was never about separation, it was about timing, learning, patience. Don't skip. Because this reframes every, almost, in your life as intentional, not accidental. Here, the letter acknowledges something deeply personal, that you may never meet again, and that this truth doesn't weaken what existed. It strengthens it. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in understanding that meaning doesn't require continuation to be real. The tone becomes grounded, almost gentle. The writer says that if this letter changed how you see yourself, even slightly, then it fulfilled its purpose. Not to redirect your path, but to validate it. Don't skip. Because validation, when it arrives at the right time, can be life-defining. This page also releases the future from expectation. The writer makes it clear they don't believe in owed endings or promised reunions. They believe in alignment, where lives intersect exactly as much as they're meant to. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in accepting that freedom. Near the end, there's a reflection meant only for you. It says that the reason this story resonates is because you've learned how to listen. To pauses, to intuition, to what isn't said. Don't skip. Because this confirms something important about who you've become. The final words don't echo, they rest. The letter closes by saying that if you carry this knowing forward with kindness toward yourself, then everything that happened was enough. Stay till the end. Something huge was waiting for you, not a reunion, not a demand, but a truth strong enough to stand quietly beside you, for the rest of your life. The seventh part arrives like a breath you didn't realize you were holding. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because this is where the story stops being about the letter and starts being about you. The writer knew this would be the hardest part, not to write, but to receive, because truth, once understood, changes how you stand in your own life. This section doesn't reveal new events, it reveals meaning. The letter explains that everything you felt while listening to this story was already inside you. The words didn't create it, they uncovered it. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in the realization that recognition is stronger than surprise. The writer speaks directly to the version of you that questioned timing, choices, and missed chances. They say nothing was late and nothing was early. Everything arrived when you were capable of holding it without breaking. Don't skip. Because this single idea has the power to heal years of silent doubt. Here, the letter makes its boldest statement. It says the connection was never meant to pull two lives together, it was meant to remind one life of its depth. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in understanding that not every soulmate comes to stay, some come to awaken. The tone now is steady, confident. The writer says that if you felt seen while hearing this, it's because you've learned how to see yourself. The letter was only a mirror. Don't skip. Because mirrors don't give answers, they confirm truths you already carry. This part gently removes the last illusion, that closure must come from another person. The writer says closure happens the moment you stop needing permission to feel whole. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you in that independence. As the story nears its end, the letter thanks you, not for reading, not for remembering, but for becoming. It says that who you are now is exactly who this truth was written for. Don't skip. Because gratitude like this doesn't look backward. It honors growth. The final lines don't fade out, they settle in. The letter ends by saying that if this story stays with you after the video ends, then it did what it was meant to do. Stay till the end. Something huge was waiting for you all along, and it wasn't the letter. It was the understanding you just unlocked.